What's going on, everybody, and welcome back once again to the channel. And before we get into today's video, make sure to subscribe and sack that like button. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing my Week 6 NFL preview. So without further ado, let's begin. So the first game of the week, tomorrow night's game, Commanders at the Bears. Two teams that obviously have been struggling. Both of them have been struggling offensively, and both of them have struggled a bit defensively. The main point here I want to look at is Bears offensive line versus the Commanders front. The Commanders front, as we know, has been underperforming the last couple of years. They have like 4 or 5 former first round picks all within the last 4 years on that front, and they're not generating pressure. But I think they're going to be able to get pressure this game against that Bears offensive line. I think this is going to be a very low scoring game. A chip on Carson Wentz's shoulder after the comments that Ron Rivera said, saying that the difference between the Commanders and the other teams in the NFC East that are pulling away is they have a quarterback. So obviously there's a chip on his shoulder. I think this game can go either way, but I'm actually going to edge it to the Commanders to win it 17-14. Then the Ravens at the Giants. This has suddenly turned into a big-time game. Before the season started, you would check this as a win for the Ravens, but the Giants have gotten very good. This is another big test for the Giants. The Giants are going to be able to slow down the run a little bit. The Ravens are going to have to be able to pass the ball downfield at times, so it'll definitely help if Rashad Bateman plays. The Giants, I think, are going to struggle at times against that defense. I think the defense will straighten up after some sloppy games. Well, they did bounce back last week against the Bengals. Now, I'm going to take the Ravens to win this one 27-24. I think the Giants drop one here. Then the Jaguars at the Colts, the first time two teams play each other twice this year. Obviously, divisional matchup. They just played each other a few weeks ago. Jaguars beat them 24-0, but that one was in Duval. The Jaguars have beaten the Colts the last 8 years in a row at Duval. But when it comes to Indianapolis usually wins. This one's in Indianapolis. I think the Colts will win this one 17-16 in yet another defensive battle that I'm predicting. Then the Patriots at the Browns, Jacoby Brissett facing his former team and head coach. This is an under the radar big game. I think it's in Cleveland. I think the Patriots will have trouble stopping the run at times, and I think Bailey Zappi will also struggle at times against that secondary. I think the Patriots are going to be very limited offensively. If you look at it from their angle, but I think that Belichick will put a scheme in place to be able to force the Browns to have to throw the ball at times, and he knows Jacoby Brissett as good as anyone. I think he's going to be able to, confuse Brissett and throw out some different looks that Brissett wouldn't quite recognize, and I think the Patriots are going to come out with the win 15-14 in a low-scoring game where I have the Patriots getting a lot of field goals. Then the Bengals at the Saints, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase returning to the state where they won their national championship of Louisiana to take on the New Orleans Saints. The Saints defense has been struggling lately, and the Bengals defense played solid against the Ravens, but overall has been mediocre at best this year. I think Alvin Kamara is going to have a big game against that front seven on the ground and out of the backfield, and I don't think the Saints. I don't think the Bengals corners are going to be able to cover the Saints receivers on one-on-one matchups. Meanwhile, I think Joe Burrow will feel the pressure from Cam Jordan and Marcus Davenport. I got the Saints winning this one 31-24. Then the Buccaneers at the Steelers. Kenny Pickett's first start at Heinz Field, even though he did get some action at Heinz Field a couple weeks ago. This is obviously a big game for the Bucs. Need to win this game, obviously, keep themselves on the right track. And I feel like the Steelers, this is a must-win game. I think their season has already kind of spun out of control. They're 1-4. If they win, they're only 2-4. But if they lose this one, it will really be the nail in the coffin. So it's a must-win game for them. It's in front of their home fans. That Steeler crowd, they're always fired up to face down with Tom Brady. I'm going to take the Steelers in an upset here, believe it or not. Kenny Pickett in his second start beats Tom Brady, the guy with 1,000,000 starts. I got Kenny Pickett leading the Steelers to a win 26-24. It's up in Pittsburgh. I really have a hunch the Steelers can win this game. Get some straight up the middle pressure on Brady. Brady's main weakness is when those D tackles start pushing straight up the line and there's no pocket for him to step up into. And the Steelers have the exact personnel they need for that. Next game, 49ers at the Falcons. Kyle Shanahan returning to Atlanta for the first time since he left there. They faced off with the Falcons twice since his 49er days, and the Niners lost the first one, won the second one. This is a game that the 49ers should win. The Falcons offense has some good players and playmakers, but Cordell Patterson is not playing. I just think the 49ers defense will probably limit these guys pretty good, and I think Kyle Shanahan will be able to figure out ways to exploit that secondary using Deebo Samuel. I got the 49ers winning this one 24-14. Then the Jets at the Packers. This is another under the radar game that I think, the Jets could get an upset here, but I don't think they will. I got the Packers winning it 28-17. I think the Packers defense is too good to allow the Jets to, win this game. And I think Rodgers against that secondary will be able to get some, bigger plays than they did against the Giants. I got the Packers winning this one, but it wouldn't be a shocker to me if the Jets actually pulled it out. Then the Vikings at the Dolphins, I kind of went back and forth on this one, but I'm taking the Vikings because Tua has just been ruled out at the time of watching this video. Teddy Bridgewater will be able to play, it sounds like, but I just think the Vikings should win this game. It's Kirk Cousins at 1 o'clock, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time at 1 o'clock games, but other than that, not too good. But, I think that the Vikings right now are the stronger team. I'm going to take them to win this one 26-23. Then the Panthers at the Rams. Look, if the Rams don't win this game, then something's really wrong. The Rams should win this game, and I don't think they're going to completely blow them out. Teams have actually a pretty good track record of their first game with an interim head coach, but I'm going to take the Rams to win it 20-9. I don't see how the Panthers get in the end zone in this game. Cardinals at the Seahawks. This is a big-time divisional matchup. They're both 2-3. Winner of this game trying to keep up with the 49ers in the NFC West. These two teams are both coming off of tough losses. The Cardinals are the way better team. I don't think the Seahawks are going to be able to contain Murray and company, but I don't think the Cardinals defense is going to be able to contain DK and Geno Smith connection along with Lockett. The Seahawks have been lighting it up lately. I'm going to take the Cardinals to win it, but in a shootout, 38-31. Then the Bills at the Chiefs, the game of the year, the one that everyone circled on their calendars when they saw it because of that thrilling divisional round matchup a season ago. This is the first time in the Patrick Mahomes era that the Chiefs are not favored to win the game when playing at home. They've been favored to lose. They've been underdogs in away games before, but they've never been underdogs at home games. Look, a key missing piece here for the Chiefs is linebacker Willie Gay Jr. not playing. When they've played the Bills in the past, they've used him a lot sort of as a QB spy to follow Josh Allen, and him not being in this game due to that suspension is huge. Trent McDuffie, the Chiefs' first-round rookie corner, may be able to return finally after getting injured in Week 1. That's a big plus for the Chiefs. The Chiefs' defense had been playing pretty well at almost all of this season. Against the Raiders a couple nights ago, they struggled to stop the run, but I don't see how the Bills are going to get any sort of a running game going in this game because I just feel the Bills are a team that is not inclined to run the football at all in the first place. And the Chiefs, that's their strength on defense, at least for most of this season. I think Josh Allen's going to have to pass the ball at least 40 times this game, which as insane as that sounds, yes, I think he's going to end up passing the ball 40 times in this game, which he's proven he can handle. But I think the Chiefs are going to be a little bit more balanced offensively because, one, they're good at running the ball, and two, the Bills' run defense is not as good as the Chiefs' run D. In fact, I'd say the Bills' run defense is about average, maybe slightly above average, but last year it was flat out bad, but it definitely has improved this year. Another matchup to look out for is who's going to be guarding Travis Kelce, because In the past, it's always been Micah Hyde who's guarding him. He's not going to be guarding him. So who are they going to put on Travis Kelce? I think Travis Kelce is going to have a big game, not just touchdown-wise. I think he's going to get a lot of yards in this game. I think he could get close to 100 yards. He's going to be a huge factor if the Chiefs can win this game. Tre'Davious White is also not playing for the Bills. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be able to tear apart this secondary. This is a secondary with a lot of young players, and I think that these Chief receivers are just going to keep plays alive, and Mahomes is going to be able to get them. And it's vital that the Chiefs neutralize Von Miller, because that's the main pass rusher that the Bills have. I think the Chiefs are going to be able to contain the run of Josh Allen despite not having Willie Gay, because Nick Bolton can do a similar thing. The main thing I'm looking out for as a Chiefs fan is who's going to be guarding Stephon Diggs, who's going to be guarding Gabriel Davis. That's why I think it's very important Trent McDuffie is able to get back in this game. Look, the Mahomes vs. Allen series is 3-1 right now. Mahomes is up. Mahomes is also 2-0 against them in the playoffs. Obviously, this isn't a playoff game, but this is a very big game to set the tone right now, and this will be important later on for playoff seeding. So this is going to be huge, and this is going to be a great game. I think it's going to be high scoring. I'm going to take the Chiefs to win it 34-31. Let's go. And then the Sunday night game, Cowboys at the Eagles, another big-time matchup. This is for first place in the NFC East. The Cooper Rush is probably going to be playing again. Eagles defense has been playing really well, and the Cowboys offense wasn't anything special against the Rams, if we're being completely honest here. And the Eagles offense, I think, will struggle with the Cowboys defense at times. It's probably the best defense they've faced all year. I think this game's going to be kind of low scoring, not super low scoring, but kind of low scoring. I'm going to take the Eagles to win it 20-17. And then the final game of the week, Broncos at the Chargers. Russell Wilson once again on primetime spotlight. This is a vital game for both teams to be able to keep up with the Chiefs in the AFC West and tiebreaker among themselves for a potential wild card spot. The Chargers, I think their offense, they may get Keenan Allen back. Even if they don't, they've been doing well. Broncos defense is tough, but I think the Chargers offense is a slightly better overall unit. And the Broncos offense, I think the Broncos offense will actually get going a bit compared to the rest of the season. I don't think they're going to light it up, but I think the, Chargers without Joey Bosa, which is going to be that way for a little while longer, I think they're going to be able to run the football a little bit better if they choose to. And to add to it, I think that the Broncos receivers can make some plays. They got to step up, and I think they can. But I'm going to take the Chargers to win it 27-24. Like I said, I think this is a game that could go either way. I wouldn't count the Broncos out so quick, but yeah. Comment down below what you guys think. Tell me your picks for some of these games this week in the comment section below. And other than that, I'll see you guys next